Well, I mean, last time we saw you after practice, you had come down and said, hey, like we kind of went through and talked about playing hard, trying hard, etc. And we saw that full effect in Boston, against Boston. And maybe not so much in Brooklyn. So in your estimation, is now you've practiced again after that, what didn't translate, what didn't carry over, and maybe how can you
I think in this league, man, I think we're all human. I think it's easy to get up for a game like Boston, one of the better teams in the league. And then, you come out against Brooklyn, it's a team that hasn't probably been playing their best basketball. And then you kind of have a bit of a letdown. We call them trap games in this league. And I don't think we came in with the right approach on either side of the floor. I mean, you look at the way they were playing the game, man. They were having fun. They were really moving the ball. I mean, it didn't matter who was on the floor. I was getting involved. They were running their sets. And, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due, man. They out-executed us. They outplayed us. And, it's tough, man. December, we're still trying to figure things out. Like, it's just you can't have games like that. You can't have such a great game against a top team and then have a letdown against a team that not necessarily in the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? So it's you take that on the chin, and it's a reality check, if anything. At this any given night in this league.
Doc kind of said hey, we're not good enough right now to have trap games. We're 11-16. So I'm curious, how do you find that kind of spirit that you carry in the big games in every game? Right?
With what you just said, realizing that we're not, we're outside the playoff picture right now ourselves. We got to be one of the hungrier teams, and he's absolutely right. To quote that, I mean, we're not necessarily in a position we can call another team good or bad. With where we're at right now. Respects to what we've done this year. So, yeah, man, there's no really every game for us has to be a big game at this point.
What have y'all just kind of gotten out of these last couple of days, these practices that you can carry with you?
It's been lively, it's been intense. I think we've done a lot more playing as opposed to drill work and shell and skeleton type of things. We really just kind of going at it. I think that competitive nature typically carries over into the game, and again, just getting guys healthy and going out there and just rolling.
The teams you have beaten, Detroit, Boston, even with Giannis or without, kind of see it. There's proof of concept that you guys can play a certain way and win games against good teams. Can you look back at those and pull stuff out of that, or because there's kind of the ebbs of it too, where you maybe don't match it? Like what can you take from those wins, or is it really just we can't take anything from that because the next game we didn't do it?
Well, we've proven to ourselves that we can win at that level because again we've done it. But now it's just the consistency is everything in this league. You have to kind of hang your hat on being a consistent group. Going out there, and honestly, man, a lot of it is just it's become a play hard league. You know what I mean? I think guys, you watch some of these cup games or watch the games the past couple of days, and it's all been that just effort, energy, and these groups are going out there and just. They're not necessarily executing a lot of things. They're just out there just performing, having fun. I feel like that's what we got to get back to, man. There's a joy that comes with playing this game. There's a joy that comes with doing this for a living that I think can be taken for granted at times. So yeah, man, just kind of getting back to just what made us in the first place. How we kind of started in the preseason. I think it's important to look into the little things.
Why do you think that's been missing lately?
Well, losing games isn't fun. Let's just keep it a stack. When you start to lose, obviously, it knocks at your spirit a bit. But again, there's just really no time for excuses at this point. You kind of just got to go out there and perform. That's just what the name of the game is right now.
What have you maybe learned in the last 5 or 6 games about Giannis, about playing with other bigs other than Giannis? I feel like to start the season, you kind of paired up with him a lot, and played with him a lot. Now, asking him about that, what have you kind of learned about playing with those guys?
I think everybody's different. Everybody has their own uniqueness that they bring to the squad. I think honestly everybody is contributed in some way or the other. When it comes to the bigs, it's just a matter of matchups and a matter of who to put out at the same time. So like that's the biggest thing. And everybody has their own skill set that you kind of have to be able to gel around in a sense. Kuz is a dynamic roller. Obviously, Derek was a great roller, great finisher around the rim. Bobby obviously is a great one-on-one player. Even Pete Nance, I think he's someone that when he gets his chance, he's someone that can really go out there and mix it up and play as well. I mean, we have again like the formula. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
Do you feel any more settled at all? Because I know at times we talk to you because you did play with Giannis, like we've had a lot of injuries and changes, rotations and combinations. Do you feel, I don't know, more set with your role on offense, defense, or is it still hard because they're,
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, man. I think, personally, it hasn't been, a consistent, thing, night in and night out, but that's what it is in this league, man. Like I said, it's any change is going to come with some growing pains, and I think I'm just kind of going through that myself right now. But, you have to remain positive. I'm a very hard worker. That's all you do is just, work through it. Things have to work themselves out because what you get out, is what you put in, or what you put in is what you get out. So, I think, it's got to continue to keep being myself and continue to keep just remaining positive in the situation because that's all I can do, control my spirit and, control the controllables at that. So, yeah, so it's a work in progress.